Good, Goat Nation? What's good? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are good because I'm doing good because you're watching me too. We're going to be watching the worst Formula 1 driver of all time. I've currently forgot his name, but I know he's Russian, and because of the whole Russia and Ukraine war, uh, he was dropped from Haas. I forgot his name now, but he was horrible. There's no really saving him. But let's see. Also, free Ukraine. Hopefully, they can get this war ended soon before more countries get in there and starts another world war where no one really wants to be in. We want to be in happy years and everything. But yeah, let's check it out.
Getting completely manhandled by your rookie teammate, more spins than there are letters in the alphabet, and some very questionable antics off track. Nikita Mazepin was one of a kind, and I am really glad that's the case because this man more spins than there are letters in the alphabet, and some very questionable antics off track. Nikita
Look at this guy's head, bro. I remember myself, bro. Are you seeing this guy's head? I didn't realize his head was this deformed. What the hell, man? You know what? I salute the people that try to fight for their hair and their hairline, but bro, when your hairline and head is like this bean shaped, just go bald, man. Just go bald. Just go like a Guardiola style. Go a Zidane style, man. Just shave it all off and go bald the rest of your life, because what's the point? What's the point of holding on to this? Don't get me wrong, my hairline ain't the best. But it's not like this. This is what, a whole hand and probably another hand for you before you get to his hairline, man. That's crazy. I didn't know a lot. Yeah, let's just get onto the video.
Mazepin was one of a kind, and I am really glad that's the case because this man was not only a ray of sunshine to be around, but he also gave us the greatest, worst rookie season in Formula 1 history. But you must be thinking, hey, Mr. Daily Fuel Up, if he was so bad, how did he even make it to Formula 1? Oh boy, do I have a story for you. The European F3 high-tech team raised eyebrows when they seemingly anointed Nikita Mazepin as the next big thing after just a few tests. Unsurprisingly, his father Dmitry Mazepin came through with a hefty sponsorship deal that secured his son's spot on the team for the 2016 season, only for the man to finish dead last in the championship. But hey, they say the second season is where you shine. Nikita did show some improvement with 3 podiums in Belgium and Austria, but by the end of the season, he still only managed a lackluster 10th place. Despite his lackluster performance, everyone loves a comeback story, and Nikita would stage one in the GP3 series. He finished second overall and secured the top step of the podium 4 times that season. However, his foray into F2 in 2019 was nothing short of disastrous, with an 18th place finish in the championship, while his teammate Nick de Vries claimed the championship trophy. Desperate for redemption, Nikita joined High-Tech for another shot at F2 glory. After some ups and downs, he finally had his breakthrough moment in Hungary, securing his first podium in F2. Silverstone saw him go even further, clinching his first win. However, Spa brought chaos with penalties, conflicts and more podium finishes. In the end, Nikita finished the season in 5th place, an improvement but hardly enough to win over legions of fans. Nevertheless, in 2021, he inexplicably found himself in a Haas seat, with financial backing from G.O.A.T and Dmitry Mazepin playing a pivotal role in securing his place on the grid. Now, all that Mazepin had to do after signing that contract with Haas was to make it to the first race day without doing something stupid. No points for guessing what he did. The man sexually assaulted an Instagram influencer and almost lost his seat before he'd even sat in it. Eventually, though, he would make it to the Bahrain Grand Prix, his first big shot at making an impression. And guess what? He crashed.
Dumb stuff, you know.
His first race lasted all of 30 seconds when he turned his car into a metal pancake on the 3rd corner. And so Mazepin was born. Unfortunately for Haas. You will definitely have seen Günther Steiner, the Haas team principal, on Netflix's Drive to Survive, and you'll know he doesn't exactly mince his words. The show's 4th season in particular showcased Steiner in all his glory, capturing moments like Mazepin's spin at his debut F1 race, with Steiner's frank comment, Thank you. But hey, at least we were loving it. Moving on to the Portuguese Grand Prix, where he decided to play the ultimate game of block the Red Bull with Sergio Perez. Perez wasn't impressed, to say the least. And then in Azerbaijan, he finally managed a lead lap finish, a career best 14th. It was like the universe threw him a bone. Of course, it could...
You know what? Can we really be surprised? Both times he went up from Formula 1, from Formula 3 to Formula 2, and from Formula 2 to Formula 1 was because of his dad. All the teams he went is because his dad was the one putting in the money. He didn't really do anything to surprise him. It's a bit like Lance Stroll. I feel like Lance Stroll is the worst driver in the grid. And that is a grid of Sargent in there. Honestly, he hasn't proved, he didn't prove anything. It's as they showed that he finished 5th in a championship, and the next year he's on a Formula 1 team. Why would that even be why weren't they gonna go get the number 1 guy that won the championship, or even 2nd or 3rd, but 5th? It's just because of his dad. And to be fair, Formula 1 needs to try and be a bit more strict with those rules, because I'm going to have to mention him again, but Lance Stroll at Aston Martin is finished. They need to find a way to tell Stroll's dad that he's rubbish, he is dog poo, he is doo-doo, he ain't good enough for the league. Tell the dad to leave, get a better money supplier, a better sponsor, and make a car compete. Because as we saw this season, Fernando Alonso is the only one giving points. They're in the exact same car, and if anything, Lance Stroll's car is better than Alonso, since he's dad. That's the main reason why Sebastian Vettel really got worse throughout his last season, because Aston Martin were putting in all the new stuff in Vettel's car and some of the new stuff in Stroll's car, and the dad didn't like it, and he talked to them and they swapped it around, and now Stroll gets all the good stuff. So they need to the Formula 1, what's the father's, is it FIBA? I'm not sure. I think no, FIBA might be for football, basketball. Sorry. Well, you guys know what I'm talking about, like the federation body. They need to put some rules where, if the dad is the owner, or like someone who's giving him the money for the company to like build their cars and whatnot, he cannot go against the team's orders on who and what will go to who. But Nikita Mazepin should have never been in Formula 1. Let's be real. Should have never even stepped foot in a Haas. Because he made Haas look like a joke. To the point where they done what they done. And they got rid of both Schumacher and Mazepin to get Hülkenberg and Magnussen. And now Schumacher might have the possibility, now that Hamilton might be going to Ferrari, to actually step up and show the true Schumacher inside him, because he will be a world champion eventually. He will be. Let's see, man. Let's see.
All be sunshine and rainbows. His teammate Mick Schumacher tried to overtake him, and Mazepin pulled a stunt that, well, see for yourself.
It was at this moment that he knew.
Where's the space?
He done.
What the was that? Honestly, seriously. Wow.
For a good few months, Mazepin was racking up experiences at the back of the pack, scarcely breaking into the top 15. His shining moments, he was swimming along in 14th place at the Hungaroring, but even in that race, he couldn't resist a happy misadventure into the Aramco wilderness. At this point, the man was breaking barriers in all the wrong senses of the word. His plight certainly wasn't helped by Haas's sorry excuse for a car either. Then came the Belgian Grand Prix, where rain poured like cats and dogs. Only one official lap happened under the safety car, but in that blink and you miss it moments, Mazepin somehow managed to snag the fastest lap. The man, the myth, the legend, the fastest in the world, Nikita Mazepin, Prince of Speed. He had finally announced his... Yeah, things went terribly the very next round. In Holland, things got real spicy, and not the good kind. A tiff between Mazepin and Schumacher turned into a heated argument. Why? Oh, because Schumacher dared to pass him in qualifying.
I thought Mick is not allowed to overtake me.
Mazepin, clearly not a fan of being overtaken, vented, claiming he despised people who were cheeky in the battle for the 19th spot. This fiasco even got Schumacher's family in on the action, publicly shaking their heads at the Russian driver. What was wrong with him? Was he fit to be an F1 driver? Where in the video could I ask you to subscribe? It was all terribly difficult to understand. Then came Monza, a race where Mazepin seemed to think he was auditioning for a bumper car derby. Attempting a daring maneuver down the inside of Rossia, he sent Schumacher spinning, all in the quest for the hallowed 15th place. His reward? A 5-second penalty.
Box, Nikita, box. Box, Nikita, box. And we have a 5-second penalty. 5-second penalty.
Fate was just not on his side, as he ultimately retired from the race, citing a power unit issue.
Losing power.
Stop the car, Maz. Stop the car. We're safe. Stop the car.
At this point, even the car had had enough. As you might imagine, things were threatening to boil over in the mess that was the Haas kitchen. But then came team principal Günther Steiner, holding discussions with both drivers before eventually claiming they had cleared the air after his particular escapade. Well, sort of. While rumours swirled that these two couldn't stand each other, Haas dismissed them, only for Schumacher to later drop hints that things weren't all sunshine and rainbows between them. Mazepin had an epiphany and owned up to his mistake, admitting fault in the Monza mayhem.
And obviously he needed to make the corner and turn in, so I'm sorry it happened. You know, it was
He
my
was just
fault,
trying to
but
butt
like a
kiss
racing
to try and see if
incident,
he could
sometimes
keep a
you
seat for
put your
next
nose
year.
there and
But it didn't work.
the driver in front has to turn, but you've got half the car there, so yeah.
In Russia, his home turf, he was a solid 8 seconds off the pace, and that's not the kind of pace you'd be proud of unless you were racing in reverse. During the Grand Prix, he nearly made AlphaTauri driver Yuki Tsunoda a permanent part of his car,
Future
earning
champion as
himself
well.
the unsportsmanlike
Mark my
conduct
words.
black and white flag. He ended that day a glorious P18, 2 laps down behind the leader and 1 lap behind everyone else. The Singapore and Japanese Grand Prix were cancelled, so we were unfortunately robbed of Mazepin's blinding speed on track. But he would return at the Turkish Grand Prix, and return in quite some fashion, finishing 20th place whilst 2 laps down. In his defence though,
Christ.
Mick didn't exactly fare much better, coming home in P19. At the US, Mexican and Qatar Grand Prix, he would continue his habit of finishing dead last out of the running cars, but at least he was surviving the races now. In fact, he would go one better at Interlagos, finishing above Mick in P17 and stealing the spotlight from Lewis Hamilton's incredible win. It seemed like he'd finally turned a new leaf. It seemed like he was finally showing some promise. It seemed like points were finally on the horizon. Yeah, no, he DNF'd at Jeddah and didn't make the Abu Dhabi GP because he had COVID. His season ended in the same spluttering fashion that it had started. Mick and Nikita were both struggling. He finished ahead of Schumacher only 3 times, and when it came to qualifications, let's just say he was practically in a different time zone, with an average deficit of over
Even
9
Latifi
tenths.
was
That's a
better than
lifetime in
Mazepin.
Formula 1
And that
terms.
says a
Midway
lot.
through the season, there had even been drama when Mazepin claimed his chassis was a smidge heavier than Schumacher's. Daddy Mazepin decided to splash some cash, and voila, a new tub appeared. Did it magically turn Nikita into a speed demon? Not exactly. It helped a bit, but let's just say it was like putting a band-aid on a broken F1 car. So at the end of the season, the key statistics looked something like this. 0 points. Yes, 0.
Giovinazzi has
He had
more
spun out
points than him,
22
and
times
he's
in
not even a
21 races. He only
driver.
managed to finish better than
He's
17th
the third driver
once.
for
In
Ferrari, I
retirement,
think, now.
he had a collection of 5. He had collected all the Infinity Stones. Now, I have a very easy, very simple question for you. Where would 0 points put you at the end of the championship? 20th,
Last.
right?
Yeah.
Wrong. He finished 21st. Mazepin finished 21st in a
because of
20-car
Kubica.
championship. Because in 2 races that he'd driven for Alfa Romeo, Robert Kubica had managed to equal Nikita Mazepin's best race finish of the season. If that didn't sum up Nikita Mazepin as a whole, I don't know what does. And if you thought the embarrassment ended at the end of the season for Nikita, the story has a poetic ending yet, folks. Gene Haas, the man steering the Haas ship, and the F1 team boss Günther Steiner were at the circuit when they first got the news of Russia's invasion of Ukraine on the morning of February 24th. G.O.A.T and Dmitry Mazepin had been great partners off track, but it was time to go. And on February 24th, after the testing had wrapped up for the day, a decision was made. Haas would cleanse their car of G.O.A.T branding and the flashes resembling a Russian flag. 8 days after Mazepin's last laps on February 25th, The announcement came on March 5th. Haas was waving goodbye to both driver and title sponsor. He was gone forever.
Good.
Things got a little murky in the aftermath though, with differing accounts from Mazepin and Steiner about what was communicated.
At first, the FIA, the highest
that's the
government
government
body, has
body.
allowed me to compete, as long as I'm a neutral athlete. But then, the team has cancelled my contract.
Steiner, on the other hand, denied saying any such thing. And then came the eventual announcement that Haas was replacing Mazepin with K-Mag. And let's just say, Haas was much better for it. But hey, someone had to give us the worst rookie season of all time. Sorry it had to be you, Nikita. And while you're at it, make sure to watch my video on how to beat Lewis Hamilton.
You know what? I feel like I'm saying that so much. How can you be that rubbish of a driver that on a 20 car grid in a championship you finish 21st? Bro, what can we even say? Like, they got him from 5th in the F2 championship. 5th, not 1st, not 2nd, not 3rd, not even 4th. 5th. It's crazy how Haas actually tried to do that. It just backfired for them really horribly. But what can we say? We're glad that Mazepin is out of the Formula 1 grid. Honestly, I don't think anyone's gonna miss Mazepin in there. We miss Schumacher for sure. At least I do. I know I do. I miss seeing him. He just wasn't in a fast car at the time. But I feel like you put him on a fast car and you can see his true talent. Maybe he might struggle a couple of races, but after that he'll just go. But yeah, that was the worst Formula 1 driver of all time. You guys let me know in the comments what you guys thought about the video. Smash the like button and subscribe. I'll see you on the next video.